Today, a reaction to AB's watch collection. Let's go! Hello and welcome everyone, Konstantin aka Mr. B back with a reaction video. What is a reaction video? Actually a lot of YouTubers do this and I would like to make a reaction video on AB's watch collection review. He posted a couple of days ago. AB is a good friend of mine, shout out to you bro. And he just released his video about his watch collection. Guys, I will share a link to his channel in the video description below. So pay a look, visit his channel if you don't know him already. He does really great reviews with high quality B-roll of the watches. He did incredible reviews actually, so check his channel out and leave a like and subscribe there. If you like his content, I would really appreciate this. But now let's check out AB's watch collection and my thoughts about it. Let's go. Alright, so let's check out AB's watch collection.
This is probably the most requested watch video I've been getting in my channel, so
I think all the watch YouTubers do have the same issue. It's the same for me. I did a collection review big in, was it 2018 I think. And I should have done in the beginning of 2019 another one, but I didn't. And this is what everybody is pushing me to do again. And I'm going to do this, by the way, doing a watch collection review again.
I wanted to share with you guys. There's a few reasons I didn't want to do it. First of all, I don't really have that many watches, so I didn't think it would be that interesting.
Well, depends. So I think, if I remember, he does have quite some watches. But yeah, let's see what he is going to present here.
Judging by all of the comments, I feel like a lot of you guys want to see how I personally collect, so you can kind of understand where I am with my watch collecting and how
Yeah, this is true. So yeah, the strategy of collecting and to collect some pieces and to bring them together to collection is everything what I do like to see as well.
kind of think when it comes to watches. So guys, in today's episode, I'm going to share with you my full watch collection.
Ooh.
I'm going to start off with a watch that most of you probably don't care about, but there's a reason I'm going to be showing you this. This is my first watch. Now, it's nothing special. It's not a Rolex, it's Omega.
Nothing special. The first watch is the most important. I do have my Marcello C Tridente in my collection, 44 millimeters. First watch I bought in 2008 and it brought me into the hobby. So yeah, it's nice to have this still in the collection. Good start.
A Calvin Klein dress watch. Now, the reason why I'm going to bring this up is, first of all, it is my first watch.
Calvin Klein dress watch is pretty beautiful, and but not everyone knows is Calvin Klein is part of the Swatch group, so they actually do use ETA movements inside, good quality, so not so bad. If someone asked me, should I get a Calvin Klein or like one of the movement watches, I would recommend definitely Calvin Klein. You can get with good discount, and the movements, ETA movements, even though it's quartz, not bad at all. Good start actually.
So I feel like this kind of got me down the rabbit hole in a way. This was my first dress watch. It was given to me in Christmas, and I wore this watch doing everything. I wore this watch climbing mountains, playing soccer. I did everything with this watch.
Hopefully not with the same leather strap. No, but it's great. When you get a watch and use it for everything, you can rock it. This is cool.
I'm keeping it for sentimental reasons. I don't really wear it anymore. It's kind of too big. Should this be like a 38 millimeter watch, I probably would wear it. I definitely believe that your first watch is a clear indication of where your watch collection will be in the future. Kind of like my first watch, it's a...
That's interesting actually, because when I do consider my current watch collection, I did start with a Marcello C Tridente, and indeed my watch collection is more sport watch heavy, so to say. And I'm not such a big fan of really dress watches. And I know that AB does have a thing for dress watches, and he started with a Calvin Klein watch, so this is actually an interesting thought.
Dress watch, and it's a very minimalist, kind of Bauhaus style dress watch.
Sure.
So I feel like that kind of impacted my love for dress watches. A lot of people who've been subscribed to me for a while know that I love dress watches, and I feel like it has to do with my first watch.
Actually, really good thought. Never thought about this before. And yeah, it's true. So guys, is it the same as you? Your first watch with which you start your collection, is this the same? afterwards collect more watches like this, or did you change 100%? Write this in the comment section.
Now the next watch, I'm just going to talk about this really briefly. It's the Rolex Submariner.
How could you talk just really briefly about the Submariner?
I have the 14060, actually the 1140.
This is a nice one actually. The Submariner is a great staple stone in a collection. The 14060, 114060 actually, the current one with a ceramic. I mean, it's a beautiful watch. So AB, big props, bro. It's a beautiful piece.
This is the ceramic new model. I absolutely love this watch. After collecting for a while and buying multiple dive watches, I was in that camp where I wanted something that wasn't a Rolex but still a dive.
Yeah, this is sometimes the problem, and I understand this thought, because everyone has a Rolex Submariner. Really, everyone. This is when you are into the hobby in the beginning. This is how I felt. You felt like Rolex. Everyone has it. I want to have something different. But when you collect and read more about the things, they start growing on you, because they do have a history. They do have a very classic design. It's the reason why these pieces are classic watches and classic pieces. And if they grow on you, yeah, one day you are trapped. You can't escape.
That's, amazing. And there's a lot of better dive watches out there, don't get me wrong, but
True.
In the end of the day, the Submariner is a classic. I just kind of came back to it and I realized, okay, after collecting so many dive watches, I realized there's only 2 dive watches for me, and that is from Seiko and Rolex.
This is a good thought. So, yeah, I myself had 3 Submariners. The Rolex which still is in my collection, is a GMT Master, and yeah, the dive watch in my collection is actually my Turtle, and yeah, it's a real tool watch from my point of view, because I use the Turtle. I can use it for swimming. I don't have a problem if it gets like a little bit banged up, like some dents inside. So yeah, divers, Seiko divers are real divers. The Submariner is a real diver too. And the Seiko is a classic, the Turtle is a classic. A lot of dive watches from Seiko are real true classics. But yeah, cool that he finally pulled the trigger on the 114060. It's pretty cool sport watch.
Specifically the Submariner. Honestly, you can love or hate Rolex, which is understandable, especially with their practices when it comes to their authorized dealers.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't knock the Rolex Submariner. It's just such a perfect design. It's versatile and it's survived all these years.
This is the problem. The Submariner really is a perfect watch with a glide lock system and a clasp, fully milled bracelet and clasp, ceramic inlay, the feeling when you turn the bezel. It's a pretty perfect watch and still a classic. So yeah, good choice.
It's kind of a big test that it will stay timeless.
Yeah.
Honestly, after owning so many dive watches, I feel like the Rolex Submariner is a must-have. Maybe a Seiko SKX, but the Rolex Submariner is a classic and it will remain a classic.
Seiko SKX still, they discontinued now. I think they're going to go up with the prices, because yes, the SKX is a true tool dive watch, sort of. Clearly cheaper, far cheaper, like a Submariner, but in terms of classic design, it seems to have a similar status. I don't know if you know what I mean, but I'm 100% with AB there.
Now let's move on to the good stuff. The Grand Seiko SBGA.
Whoa! Yeah.
This is the most beautiful dial I've ever seen on a watch.
Look at that dial. I mean, I know there is also the Snowflake on the market, and I do like the Snowflake. I made a review of it, an interview where I reviewed it, and it's still beautiful. But this one, big props. And now you can see why I did say before, he is more like the sort of dress watch guy. Spring drive movement, and the dial Grand Seiko does produce their perfection. They have every time a great structure to them. This is a beauty.
And when it comes to collecting,
love the blued hand as well.
Watches, the first thing that attracts me to a watch is the dial. I do care about movements and everything, but it has to look good. And
point on, it has to look good. Yes, of course, he cares about the movement, but the first thing is the design of a watch. And I really agree. The watch and also the feeling, the haptical feeling, how the finishes of the watch is really important. This is the reason why I do have an Avenger Chrono in my collection. Even though it just does have a 7750 movement, cost certified, the design is the first thing you noticed on a watch and how it feels on the wrist. So yes, the movement is important, but the design, I agree, there is far more important.
A lot of people kind of focus when it comes to movements more, but for me, it has to be beautiful first and foremost, and then I'm going to look at what the caliber is and so on. Even if it's a quartz watch, if it's beautiful and I like it, I will personally buy it.
100% agree, and I totally understand it. When I was in Japan purchasing my turtle, I have it also my hands on a regular 9F quartz grown Seiko. The finish, the look, also the texture of the sunburst dial there. So I directly did fall in love, and it doesn't matter to me that it's a 9F movement, and the 9F movement is really gorgeous. So I'm definitely going to add a grown Seiko to my collection. And it might be as well a quartz one, because even though if it's not spring drive, the technology behind that is definitely something to consider and to check out.
And this SBGA 415 has so much going for it. There's first of all, the dial is kind of inspired by winter. So if you kind of see those gloomy skies, the gray skies, they perfected this.
I love what Grand Seiko does there. They have also like the autumn one, which is more like reddish, orange. And they do this every time gray. And yeah, this definitely does look like winter sky. Yeah, so the texture of the dial color, this is more like art what Grand Seiko does this. And if you consider that price point, no competition, not at all. It's top notch.
Right now it's kind of gloomy outside, and just looking at the dial and then looking at the sky, honestly they perfected this dial. Not to mention there's another hidden gem in this watch, which is the spring drive movement. All you have to do is just look at that smooth sweeping hand, not to mention the accuracy of...
When I did review the snowflake, this was the first thing which really kept my attention for a long time. The sweep of the second hand. This is so amazing to watch. Nothing can compare with this, definitely. This is really, it's like relaxing to watch. You can check out the time for 1 hour, you don't noticing it passing by, and still you are fascinated by the sweep of that second hand.
Movement plus or minus 1 second per day, plus or minus 10 seconds per month. This is the most accurate watch I have.
It's pretty cool. The regular 9F quartz movement is plus minus 10 seconds a year. And they do even have high accuracy quartz, which is plus minus 5 seconds. This is sick.
Quite frankly, the most beautiful watch in my collection. This is kind of my go-to everyday watch. The Submariner technically is my everyday watch, but I wear this more than the Submariner, so I consider this one more of my everyday watch.
Interesting. Yep. Overall, the Grand Seiko with the spring drive, I think it does has also 100 meter of water resistance, so it's good enough for the everyday carry. You don't need to worry about when it's rainy outside. And the Submariner, in comparison, of course, is a little bit more heavy due to the bracelet. And yeah, wearing this more than the Submariner, totally can understand this actually. I do wear my watches more like 3 months this, 3 months the other, so like in frequencies, but totally with you there.
Well, it is titanium, so it's very light on the wrist.
It's titanium.
So I love wearing it every day, and I paired it with a very comfortable strap by Veblenist. This is a Saffiano strap. It looks gorgeous on this watch. I honestly wasn't a fan of the titanium bracelet.
Yeah, normally comes on the titanium bracelet, but I agree. The strap choice looks really good. I like the strap.
Watch feel a little flimsy, and this is a very, very comfortable strap. I wear it every single day, but when the weather gets hot, I wear it on a rubber. And honestly, this is great.
On a rubber strap, like on the blue one, matching the second hand, also a great idea. But let's go a little bit forward and check out what other watches he has in his collection. Oh, this is a good one as well.
Now finally, let me talk with you guys about my favorite watch. This is my Seamaster Geographic. There's a reason why I absolutely love this watch. Forget about the fact that this is an incredible watch.
It is.
Actually kind of got me into mechanical watches in the first place. There was a day where I think I was either in Dubai or Saudi Arabia in a transit, and I was in the airport and I was looking at watches. I didn't know much. I remember even telling the sales guy I was trying...
Airports every time are very dangerous for watch collectors and watch aficionados. So yeah, never went to a boutique there.
Faint knowledge, so I was like, yeah, I know watches, Calvin Klein, Armani, and so on.
Yeah, he was in a boutique in the airport in the transit, and he turns about I was into watches, Armani, Calvin Klein. Yeah, but come on, when you start, this is how it is.
Kind of just looked at me, that's when I knew that, okay, Maybe I don't know much about watches, but I was eager to learn. And then I looked at their pre-owned section.
This is important, eager to learn. And this is part of the hobby. I mean, I do collect since 2008, and I'm active in forums and watch forums here in Germany, writing every day, asking questions, reading articles like watch reviews. You learn, and you can explore so many different things about watches. This is why the hobby is that interesting and still keeps me keeps me going on with it, because every time you think you know a lot or everything, you just find something new, and this is how about the hobby works.
They had a Master Geographic, specifically the 929, but with the white dial.
Oh, the one with the white or silver dial as well is beautiful, but I think the black dial he has, in combination with the Grand Seiko, perfect match.
I remember seeing this watch and seeing that world time and him explaining to me that this is a mechanical watch. I couldn't comprehend how this watch was calculating every single time zone with it being mechanical, and he was explaining to me everything, and I held this watch, I remember, for an uncomfortable amount of time, probably 10 minutes solid. I was just looking at this watch, and I was really young at the time, so there was no way I was going to be able to afford this watch. But I just remember looking at it and telling myself, someday I'm going to own this JLC.
That's awesome. Yeah, this as well does explain why he is so much into dress watches. When this is your first interaction with mechanical watches, and I still think it's amazing that he saw this watch in a young age. Come on, I know this is the same. I wasn't that much into watches. I was into some watches, yeah, but let's talk Swatch there. And to remember that, and then finally when you are a collector, pulling the trigger, going back to the roots, to the first mechanical piece you saw, this is an awesome addition to the collection.
Kind of weird, my first inclination to watches, my goals and everything, it wasn't the Rolex. I never really wanted Rolex. In fact, I just got into Rolex probably 2-3 years ago. And even then, it's not my favorite brand. I remember being really young and really wanting this JLC. It's just crazy what they were able to fit in a 38mm case. I guess that's why they're called the watchmakers.
And this is true. I mean, you have a lot of functions there with the geographic, and yeah, they are the watchmaker. If you consider how many different movements they brought out over the years with how many complications, and this is still why I wonder why JLC is that, underrated, I would say. You know, everyone is talking about AP Royal Oak, about Patek Philippe. JLC is up there with all their models. They do have iconic models, talking the Reverso, talking the Master Control line, and as well the Polaris collection they have is awesome and really great movements. I don't get it. And they do have in every price range something. They start below Rolex level with some of the reversals, and they have also 100% in-house movements in great quality, great decoration. So yeah, it's a good choice.
Just twist the crown and all of a sudden you're in Cairo, you're in Hong Kong, you're in London, you're in New York. It's just incredible what you can have on your wrist at a 38mm case. It's just a phenomenal watch in my opinion.
Yep, true.
Now the next watch is a watch I never thought I would add to my collection, and that's a G-Shock. To be quite frank, I'm not really into G-Shocks. I don't really like...
100% agree with that. I'm not a fan of G-Shocks as well, but I can respect them. I think they are the most... They're used by the military, by the soldiers a lot, by the firefighter departments. I know a lot of firefighters who really swear on their G-Shocks. They rely on their G-Shocks. It's a tough sport watch, or tough watch overall. They're cool. They do have something of their own, actually.
The way they look. I remember seeing a picture of somebody putting this next to a Rolex Submariner, and the quote was something along the lines of, "This is the real tool." And I saw it, and
That's true. I mean, yeah, of course you can go for a dive with the Submariner, but when you see the percentage of the guys who really do that... Well,
on that negative display, I saw the red accents, and I thought that is the coolest G-Shock I've ever seen. It kind of looks like a villain G-Shock, so I kind of nicked
the villain G-Shock. Yeah, but it's true when you see the black one with the red dial color with the figures there. This is pretty decent watch, pretty cool.
Named it the Evil Shock because that black and red.
the Evil Shock. Yeah, but it's really 100% blacked out. This is a beautiful piece.
The regular G-Shock G-Shock square went evil and now it's black and red. I don't know, it's just such a tough watch. And then when I purchased it and I started wearing it, this is actually my most worn watch. There's something I kind of understood after owning a G-Shock, why people love this so much. It's so tough, it's so robust. There's nothing that's gonna happen to this. It will survive.
Yeah, you don't worry about this. Throw it on the wrist and forget it, literally. It's very light to wear, tough, hard to beat. You don't worry about dents and scratches. You're just rocking it, enjoying in the day, going to the pool with it, going outside if it's raining. You never have to worry about the G-Shock. So in this matter, it really is a cool piece.
I've been apocalypse.
And a classic of its own. I mean, G-Shock do have really a classic status.
And I wear this doing everything when I'm doing my everyday things. I'm really active, so I wear this all the time. It's such a cool G-Shock. I mean, honestly, it looks like the G-Shock square just went evil. All of a sudden, the screen went black, and then just those red accents as if the watch got angry or something. I don't know, but it's just...
Angry shock.
The coolest G-Shocks I've ever seen. That matte case mixed with all these accents. It's one of the coolest ones.
So remembering me that I do need a black watch in my collection as well. I hate this. Every time when I watch collection reviews, I remember what is missing in my collection.
It's not the highest end Casio you can get. You can probably pick this up for $60, but
That's
it is
fair.
my favorite G-Shock. Here's a watch I kind of kept in my collection. I don't really wear it that much. It's the Omega Seamaster Midsize. The reason I don't wear it is honestly the Submariner takes most of the wrist time when it comes to the dive watches. But it is a really cool watch.
Yeah, the Submariner there is a tough competition, but especially this one, this is actually my favorite Seamaster. There's the mid-size he does own, and there's also the regular size. I think it's 41 millimeters, and I do like the ceramic dial, ceramic inlay in the bezel. This is a beautiful piece. I really like this version of the Seamaster.
A video on this watch showing how versatile the mid-size version is. You can actually dress this watch up. I know a lot of people will kind of cringe when it comes to me saying basically you could dress up a dive watch. But honestly, I did it and it looked amazing.
And it is, to me, the most elegant diver you can get. I mean, in comparison with the Submariner, with the Blancpain, with the Planet Ocean, it's very dressy if you hold it in your hands. It's pretty thick, but it is a very dressy watch. That's true.
A lot of compliments when I dressed up with this dive watch. It's small enough, compact enough.
I like the strap. Do you know which strap this is? Bro, which strap did you use? I have to text them. Looks good in combination.
To look dressy, but it is robust enough for you to wear it every single day. It is an incredible watch, the Seamaster. And honestly, I'm not a fan of the older Seamasters, the OG Seamaster, if you will, the James Bond one, or the newer ones. I feel like in the middle where they had just this matte ceramic dial, I think this is the most beautiful iteration out.
I agree. I don't like the newer ones either. Well, I can't say I don't like. They are cool watches, but they are for me far too big with 43 millimeters, or is it 42? Of course, they brought back the wave pattern dial, but it's lasered. It looks like more rougher. The older version, I liked more this wave dial they made then. And in combination with the aluminum inlay, this could age very beautifully. But still, as mentioned before, I prefer this particular version with the ceramic inlay and the ceramic dial the most. It's a beautiful piece as well on the bracelet, on the steel bracelet. It's a good looking watch, and I prefer it over the newer and over the older ones. So yeah, big props there, bro. And keep it. It's a cool watch, really.
All of them. Now here's just a quick honorable mention. I have this Casio Edifice. I bought it for $30. And it's just a great watch to have.
This is good looking. I never noticed. Water resistance, 100 meter quartz. Yeah, it's if you're looking for an everyday beta, which doesn't break the bank, and it looks good. It does look good.
Honestly, I don't...
But definitely more, again, a dress watch.
I don't really see myself keeping it that long in my collection. I might just keep it just for, just to keep it, but it is a great watch for anybody who wants just a solid, reliable quartz watch. I highly recommend this Casio.
Lume looks good as well. Casio does do good lume, and the Edifice, it's a classic too. It is good looking as an everyday beta. Really do like that one.
Actually talked about it, and I said that this is probably the best watch you can get for under $100. Quartz watch, if you will, under $100. I know there's a lot of Seiko mechanical watches, but even then, just the sharp edges, the finishing of this watch is honestly beyond the price point.
Good recommendation though. Yeah, of course you can get the Seiko 5 with a 7S29, 7S20. Every time mixing up the references of the movements. But still, if you are not into mechanics, or if it doesn't have to be a mechanical movement, a good recommendation. I never saw this Edifice. Cool piece.
I feel like it's still one of the best options you can get for under $100. I really like this watch. I think I might keep it in the collection for a while.
Yeah, do it.
Now, finally, guys, I've seen a lot of collection reviews of people talking about what their goal is. Personally, I try to keep my collection small. I feel...
Bro, this is not a small collection. It really isn't. It's a decent collection, and I like the combination. Yes, you do have a little bit more dress watches. You do have, of course, also sport watches, the G-Shock, the Submariner, the Seamaster. And yeah, I liked what you said in the beginning, that the first watch gives you a hint how the future of the way you collect is going to be. And yeah, definitely, when I see which watches you have there, it's cool pieces.
I have my 4 main watches, which is the Submariner, Grand Seiko, and the JLC, and the G-Shock. I kind of want to add maybe 2 more watches. I want to keep it at 6. I have
6 main watches. Yeah, but true. No?
Here that doesn't belong to me, but is a strong contender. I've been considering this watch for a while. This is the SBDC 065 or 061, something like that. With
Baby Marine Master. When I went to Japan for purchasing my Seiko, I was strongly considering this. I really was in love with it. The quality is mind-blowing, and also with the alignment, I think Seiko did step up their game in terms of the quality control, because my turtle didn't have any alignment issues, and neither did the Baby Marine Master, and especially this limited edition with the blue dial. Beautiful piece. I just took the Seamaster, the turtle over the Baby Marine Master because I fell in love with the bezel and with the dial color with a great white shark dial. But it's an amazing piece. And I wanted to have the day complication with the Kenji letters on it.
Cyan blue dial. This is the most beautiful Seiko dive watch I've ever seen, period. This blue dial is incredible. I haven't seen anybody...
Seiko really, in terms of dials, they really stepped up their game incredibly. This piece is really beautiful.
A blue dial like this, and even though it is 43 millimeters, it wears like a 40 because of the bezel.
Same with the turtle. The turtle over the length measured is not too long. Everybody actually can pull off a turtle. Not too big.
The finishing on this watch, everything about this watch is perfect. I've had a lot of problems with Seiko before, but this watch kind of brought me back.
So this is what I mentioned before, that Seiko did work on their quality control issues, I think. So each watch I saw at Big Camera at the Seiko part was perfectly aligned in terms of the dive watches. So it seems they did improve a little bit their quality control issues, which is to be expected for that price point, but still it's good to see that they are working on that.
Seiko, and honestly, I might be adding this to my collection by the end of this video. Now finally, what are my future watches? Well, I have a bunch of watches I want to add to my collection. I'm not really sure.
Just 2 possible, bro. 1 when you get the Seiko.
Yet which ones I would add. I know I'm going to definitely add a Langa in the future. I don't know if it's going to be a Saxomat, a Langmatic. A few Langas that for sure might make it into my collection is a Saxonia, for example.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the Saxonia.
The Saxonia is as well a favorite of mine, to be honest. In rose gold.
Or the 1815 up down, or just the regular 1815 in white gold.
Yeah, looks nice too. Lange is incredible, especially in terms of the movement. It doesn't matter whether this is the entry level, which is 1815, or the Saxonia, or the high end, like a double split or triple split chrono. The decoration of the movement, doesn't matter which level, is on the same level. It's really amazing, and I do prefer Lange over Patek. Yeah, okay. I know this is something you can discuss. I'm German, and I really do like Lange & Söhne in terms of their design and in terms of the finish of the movement. Definitely next level.
Definitely want to add one of those watches. Maybe.
And this in combination with the Jeja and with the Grand Seiko. Yeah, I can see that.
FB Jour Chronometer Blue.
FB John, I can respect. I really can respect FB John as a brand. And they do incredible watches. But in comparison with the A-Lang und Söhne, I prefer the Lange still.
First grail watch. I believe I've always wanted a 15202 for the past 3-4 years.
My good friend Burak from the Wrist Guy YouTube channel, the German YouTube channel, he owns it. I hold it in my hands in the last watch event from Markus, the Uhrenratgeber in Cologne. It's a beautiful piece, but yeah, the Royal Oak is awesome, but still, in comparison, I think the Lange, he would be better off as a Lange still. I love the Royal Oak, especially the regular Royal Oak, not the offshore. It's a very elegant piece, the bracelet, the integrated bracelet. This is tougher, but this version is hard to get. In terms of the prices, they're going through the roof at the moment, so would be difficult to get actually.
But the prices have gone crazy on that one, so I'm kind of toning it down until the prices come down. But realistically, what I plan to add next is probably a Lange 1815 in white gold. That is definitely one of my favorite watches.
But why white gold? I mean, when you go for gold, I think you should go for rose gold. The Lange rose gold is beautiful. The price point, from price point of view, it doesn't matter whether you go white or rose gold. And I think rose gold would fit perfectly into your collection because you have all steel at the moment. Add some color in terms of the case color. And when you go for an 1815 in rose gold with a white dial, spot on, and would fit perfectly in the current collection actually.
And maybe a Chopard 1860 with the caliber 96. One of the best automatic movements.
Yeah, go for the Lange, bro. Yes, the movement is incredible. I agree, but the Lange movement, to me, get the Lange, bro. Don't get the Chopard.
Price point, in my opinion. What else? There's a few affordable watches I want to add. There's a few micro brands I kind of want to check out. There's a few Seikos that I still want to check out. There's this
For sure.
Casio G-Shock that I've recently... Honestly, the DW5600 was the only G-Shock I liked until I saw this G-Shock Oak, something like that.
I saw this on Instagram. I really want to get this. When I remember now, I have to add a black watch. So this is actually... I have to charge the battery. This is actually a great addition. Bro, sell your current G-Shock. Get this one and forget about the Royal Oak. You will save lots of money, and this one is stunning. This is a cool piece. 100% agree. I have to get this one too.
Kind of like a Royal Oak looking G-Shock. Really cool watch. I might add that one too. But guys, all of that I'm going to be updating in the future State of the Collection next year. Guys, thank you so much for joining me here. Hopefully you liked my collection. I didn't really want to make this video, but a lot of you guys requested it.
Link in the video description. This was a review, and still, I'm really blown away. Awesome pieces for great core pieces. Interesting options to add. Definitely, bro, go for the Royal Oak Shock and for the Lange. And I every time when I do collection reviews, normally I do recommend something. And still, I do think in AB's collection right now is sort of a chronograph missing from my point of view. And two are popping up in my mind directly. On the one hand, the Omega Speedmaster. I do have the Speedmaster in my collection. It's an amazing watch. I love it to death, and it's a cool piece to add. But in comparison with the Submariner is already classic. You need just one of these classics in your collection. So maybe not, but as he mentioned already, micro brands, even though Zinn is not a big micro brand from my point of view, it's more like a regular brand in the borderline, like a borderline micro brand. But when I see his current collection, sort of a Flieger watch is missing. So my recommendation would be the Zinn Classic Flieger 356 chronograph, 38mm, 38.5mm, Vougeot 7750. I think they changed it to the Lita SW500. But still, a great watch, doesn't break the bank. It's a classic. It does have Hazelite crystal or plexi crystal. A beautiful piece. You can wear it on the regular bracelet. You can wear it on straps. It's a beautiful addition to the collection. I think a chronograph should be there. in terms of ticking boxes, which I like to do as my collection. Still, I think it would fit perfectly there. So this would be, in the end, my recommendation for AB, and I think it's a cool piece to add to the current collection. So, bro, sell the, what was the name? Sell the current G-Shock, purchase the Royal O-Shock, Royal Oak-Shock, and get the Lange and get the Flieger. And if you have the Flieger, you maybe can sell the Seamaster. But yeah, that's my recommendation. Alright guys, this concludes my first reaction video. I hope you did like it. I'm eager to learn about your opinion in the comment section below. What do you think about AB's watch collection? What do you think about my recommendations there? I look forward to write with you in the comment section below. Guys, I wish all of you now a very happy weekend, a good start into the next week. Look forward to see you in the next one. Say goodbye and auf Wiedersehen. Euer Konstantin. Ciao.